So, hi all, welcome to TRISHOOL free training tutorials. So today in this video, uh, I'm going to discuss about I'm going to work on the template creation. Like basically, we since we know already CSS priority, CSS attributes, a few attributes, of course, CSS selectors, and also uh, divs. So how to create a layout using divs. Of course, we did a very basic layout in the last session. In this session, we were going to take a template from the Google and develop it. Okay, and I think someone asked a question. Oh, okay. So basically, sorry about that. So basically, layout. There is a difference between layout and template. Some people call sometimes some people call template also layout, but basically layout means uh, it's how it exactly looks. So which means we will draw and show. Either we will draw it in a paper, or either we will draw it in in a paint or wherever it is. But you'll just show the layout, how exactly it is going to be. Which means here it's going to be basically a banner. Here is going to be a logo. Here is going to be something like that, which is similar to wireframe. But when it comes to template, it's purely like, full fidelity, which means like with all graphics and everything. So basically we create, we literally put all the images, text, real text and everything into the template and make sure it look like a original website. Because even I don't want to develop it before I start working with it. So what I do is I'm going to use certain tools like Photoshop to develop the template, which means I'm going to create everything from the scratch and make it exactly look like a website and show it to the client. So that is a kind of template. And maybe layout means you can consider it as a wireframes or a blueprint or something like that, similar. So some people call, depends on the institutions, organizations. They call differently. Some people may call layout. Some people may call wireframe. Some people may call prototype. So yeah, of course, there is a difference between them. Uh, um, we will get to know more about it. So when we take our original PSD file, and convert it. Of course, you just simply Google it. You will find out. Definition. See, so just a basic layout. So with a minimal information, it's almost similar to wireframe. It's nothing but a wireframe. So, oh, we're discussing about free templates, images. This is not my property. So this is basically I'm just getting some template from the internet and trying to develop it using divs. So I'm not sure. Everyone looks similar and same. Let's take a complicated one, which has a lot of things, which has this looks a little complicated. Not much, but still. Okay, let's take this one. Now this one. Yep, this looks good. So let's do this. This looks beautiful template. Who is that? This the property of someone else, but I am just trying to develop the similar template. We're not going to use same colors, of course. We'll use our own colors and develop it, or we can develop with the same colors. So let's take this template and start working with it. So since we have not discussed anything about the forms, today we will discuss about the form. So this tabbing system might not work because we have not yet get into the JavaScript. So because that's basically work with the JavaScript. So let's not make things more complicated today. We'll try to develop this website. I'm really sorry, I'm a little slow today. Let's do this. File new, uh, don't save, not required. HTML slash HTML header slash header body slash body. Okay. First of all, before I even start, I just need to understand the layout. What is the layout exactly here? So, which means first I need to decide how many rows I have to take. What is the row? What is the row? What is I need to consider as a row? What is I need to consider as a table? So here, since we are not using table, of course, what is considered as a column? I'm just taking this whole thing as a one TD, one div. So forget about the tables for a while. There is no rows and columns in divs. We're using CSS to make rows and columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm taking total 4 divs right now, including the main div inside one main div. So now I'm just taking one main div and wrapping it up inside I is equal to say wrapper. So why wrapper? I mean, basically wrapper is a we're just wrapping it up in with some div. So that's the reason I have given a wrapper. You can give whatever you want. You can say main website, however you wish. But yeah, mostly if you find any websites, they are using wrapper or something like that. So inside header, we need to provide a title. We never give actually in our examples, but title is very important with respect to search engine optimization, with respect to website identification. So everything, for everything, title is very important. So it's, I say around the world. Brilliant. Let's take style. No, we don't want to write internal CSS, right, this time. So we need external CSS. So what I can do is we have a tag called link. I hope everyone knows about it. So link tag will link the CSS, external CSS to the document. So now what I can do is href equal to CSS slash styles, because I'm going to put my CSS styles in a CSS folder, and type is equal to text slash CSS, and relation is equal to style sheet. So I'm telling the browser, hey, whatever the document I'm attaching to this file is going to be a style sheet. Alt F, save as, free training sessions again. Let's take a folder, inside folder. What is the folder? I'll say template. Now all files, index.html. So whatever the main file, right? In the website template, if you take any website, you always find a single index file, which means index.html or index.php. Definitely, the main site is going to be main. The When you open any website, it will open index.html or index.php at the very first. So that's the reason every project contains index.html or index.php, and it is mandatory. So because this is a default, uh, default name basically. So any server, it will pick up automatically index.html. If you have index.html, it will pick up. Otherwise, it won't show. You need to get into the specific file name, like uh, let's say TRISHOOL.com/about.html. If you don't have an index.html, you need to give a specific name like about.html or something like that in the link. So since this is a project, I'm saying that index.html and save. Now my file has been saved, and also now I'm going to take a new file and says Alt F, save as styles.css, and I'm going to say it all files, and of course I'm going to create a folder, CSS. Sorry, it's in caps, my man. CSS. And of course I'll just create one more folder, images. So I'm going to put all the images inside this image folder. So let's get into the CSS folder and just save here the style.css. Now what I can do is, to understand whether the style sheet is working or not, I'm going to give basically store, the universal selector. Let's say font family is Arial, line height is like around 22 pixels. So I just need to forget close and blah blah blah. Body open close tag. Color, anyway, color is a black by default. No need to give a color, and just save it. And go to our template. This is not our beautiful. I need to go to this. Go to template. Right click. Open with. Not bad. So let's try giving a text. TRISHOOL free training sessions on front-end technologies. Beautiful. Let's try to open that page. Template, right click, open with Chrome. So as you can see, and it's not applying. TRISHOOL. So as you can see, it's not applying the font family. So how can I say that it is not applying? Because this is a by default font taken by the browser. I think it is some Tom. I don't remember the font name. So uh, but I have given Arial. It is not applying. So how do I know? How do I recognize the fonts? It will take some time. Based on practice, you need to check which font is which, and you will be able to identify the font. But anyway, so the reason it is not applying is the external CSS is not loading up. That is because we have to. I forgot giving extension to the the file. To the referring file, css/styles.css. Mostly the path issues if the CSS styles are not working. So you need to be be very careful with the paths. And just refresh. See, now it works beautiful. So now it's great. It's working great actually. So what I'm going to do is I'll just put it instead of around the world. I'll just put the threshold free training sessions in the title. Just refresh the page, of course, and you can see here in the title, threshold free training sessions on the front-end technologies. That's beautiful. Let's done with it. Let's take 4 divs, right? Total main wrapper. Inside that, I have 4 divs. So div, close div, take div, close div. Beautiful. Let me open close div, take div, close div. So now, since I'm not, I don't need these three divs right now, so only I need this div because right now I'm focusing on what? Only the menu part, right? So let's take, first of all, names. So everyone is confusing, hey, can I give an ID or can I give a class? So I see some templates, some people are using only ID for even for CSS also. Some people are using a class only for CSS also. It's always, if you think like that, it's always confusion. It's always what you need, first of all. So do I need a unique ID so that I can identify easily? I can write CSS easily. I can overwrite CSS from any point of time. Yes, so you can take ID always. So yes, I might need right in the future. So why don't we just take ID as a menu? And you can always take a class also if you want. So since this is a top part, I can say header section, something like that. So I'm not saying header or I'm not saying head or something like that because we have already a keyword called head. Don't use you know regular keywords or HTML keywords or CSS attributes or anything which is default keywords in the ID names. So because you'll get confused and it is not a good practice too. So try always use a different name and make sure it makes sense. So now I just say header section. I think it makes sense. Oh, okay. I know I want the header. So I've given a header section, of course. So let's get into the header section. What are the sections I have here? One is the logo section here, left side, and another one is a input and the search logo. Sorry, not icon, and 3 buttons, which is a register, login, help. Okay, interesting. Let's take a div. See, one more thing. You don't need to take a div unnecessarily, or you can directly say image, and whatever the CSS you want to write, you can write directly to that specific image. So now all I'm saying is simple. I'm going to take image SOC is equal to image slash logo dot PNG. Interesting. And I'm saying class is equal to logo, right? And next I'm going to take a div, class is equal to, what is it? It's a right menu. I'll say right underscore menu. Even here also I'll say head underscore section. So the naming convention is very important here. Don't use capital letters in the IDs or classes. Don't use you can use underscores, and don't use keyboards. Uh, Try not to use numbers. You can actually, but still sometimes it doesn't make sense if you use numbers. So sometimes if you think there are let's say some few things like I need to use box 1, box 2, box 3. So mostly if you are using box 1, box 2, box 3, which means you are writing similar CSS for 3 boxes. So in that case, you can write one box and write all the CSS, and just try to avoid use numbers. But if it is necessary, you can. Yes, Chakravarti, we are using div inside div. You can use it. That's how you can develop the layout. Okay, let's get into it. Right now, we can define any value in the class. Yes, of course, you can define any value in the class. In the class means, one second, hold on. So you talking about the class name, or are you talking about the CSS which you are going to write in style sheet? Oh yes, we can define anything in the CSS. So since I've just taken two classes, one is a logo, one is a right menu, let's get into CSS file. Where is it? It's here. So now all I need is here. When I say hash. First of all, I need to give a width for the entire website. I'm taking a hash wrapper, open flow bracket and close, and say width 1200 pixels. I'm taking my website with a width of 1200 pixels, so I'm just giving 1200 pixels and saying margin auto, height auto. So what I'm doing here is I'm saying margin auto, which means if the screen resolution is more than 1200 pixels, it will take 1200 pixels of the screen, and the remaining distributed equally from the left and right, and align it to the center properly. So that's the reason we are giving margin auto, and the wrapper, of course, the height and width. So now I'm going to give a little background so that I can see the effect that it is aligned EF. And of course height auto I've given. I don't think we can see something over here because we don't have any content. So as we have only the image tag, so that gray is displaying. As you can see, still we have a padding over here at the top. Here, right? This is the main first div we have taken, but still you see there is a small padding over here because by default the body contains certain padding. So right now I'm just saying uh, body. If you find a body, just padding 0 pixels. Not only body, I'll just put everything. Yeah, basically inside body for any tag, not only for body tag. If you I'm just removing all the padding and margin so that it is under my control. Someone say something. Now as you can see, like just make it margin and padding. Now save, refresh, see everything is gone. That's brilliant. So now I need a logo, right? So here I need to take an image. Okay, brilliant. Logo samples free. Okay, this looks more. Okay, I'll take this. So this is just a logo from in the internet. I'm just taking this for my for the Control S. I'm just putting it in a template, uh, images, and just saving it as a logo. Dot whatever PNG or JPG. It's a JPG file. I'm just saving it. So I need to crop this image. I'm stopping the record. Let me stop the record. Let me start the record. Yeah. So now the logo is ready. So this is not my property. I just got it from the Google. So you can get it from the Google as well. So this is not this is just regular. We're just using for a training purpose, and that is for free. And let's get into our stuff here. Right, beautiful. Before I write about the logo, the CSS about the logo, I need to write about the header section, right? Header underscore section, and I need to say the width is 1200 pixels. Here you need to understand whether you want to use padding for the whole website or not. So for padding means basically you will get a space for the whole website, like 20 pixels. So I don't want a padding right now because I'll handle all the padding in each and every individual divs. So let's see how it's going to be. So that I have not given any padding to the wrapper, or any padding or margin. That's the reason. And my width of the my children also is going to be a same. Now I'm going to take height, of course, 100 pixels, right? And I'm going to take a image. Sorry, I've given a class, of course, logo. Now I'm saying, see what I'm saying here? I'm saying float left. So I'm just saying that you just align to the float left, and of course give a padding some 15, sorry, some 10 pixels. So what happens is it will align to the left and give us some padding around it, 10 pixels. I don't need to worry about calculations here. I think we have not discussed CSS box model, so we will discuss before we start even working with this template. I think we need to discuss about CSS box model. But let me complete this header part and get into again get back to CSS box model and come back again to the template. So padding 10 pixels, and next dot right underscore menu, open and close. Now interesting. Uh, all I need is just this guy needs aligned to the right. I don't care what is the space between these two guys, but I just want it to align to the right. So this guy is aligned to the right for the sake of I just want to see something, right? So I'll just give width of 150 pixels and height of what height of what one sorry, my bad, height of some 60 pixels. Now just try to look into our website. Oh, one more thing, in our index.html. Here logo.png, right? It's not logo.png, it is a JPG file, right? Our file is JPG. You can check it. Properties, it's JPG file. Go here, just save JPG and go here, go to our website, refresh. Ah, brilliant. What is I missed out here? Ah, interesting. It's like images, not image. So you need to be careful with the path. Beautiful. So it looks it's loading, but as we see, there is a small slight problem. Uh, the height is more than expected, so I can control the height. Of course, the height of the image would be 130 because I also have some padding given, right? 10 pixels. Here I need to say height 130 pixels. When I say height 130 pixels, I am considering only one, let's go 120 pixels, because only when I say padding, it is top and bottom, right? So I need to consider 20 pixels. So I'm but my main my header section height is 100 pixels. Oh, It should be, if it is 80. So which means 80 plus padding 20 pixels, total 100 pixels. Now it's perfect. So this is how we need to calculate. So in a moment we are going to discuss about the CSS box model. You will understand the why I have decreased the height here for the logo, uh, and why I've given padding 10 pixels. So well, just give me 2 minutes. We'll get into that CSS box model. You will understand it properly. Anyway, padding 10 pixels and 80 pixels, done. And here I have given 60 pixels height, so I don't need to worry about this right now. So done. I just save and just refresh. Beautiful. It's properly aligned to the left, and you see padding 10 pixels, padding 10 pixels, and of course padding 10 pixels. And you can check it if you want. Inspect element and click here and see surroundings 10 pixels. Perfect. So in the header, I'm removing the background. I don't need it actually. I just given because just to show you that is up height is applying. So for the header section, sorry, for the wrapper, I don't give a background. Okay, refresh. Now it looks perfect. So now I'm going to need a text, right? There is one more text. I'll say H1 tag. Interesting. So now what I'm saying, I'll say threshold, blah, blah, blah. And go to styles CSS. Now I'm going to write, see, I'm not writing H1 directly. I am writing something like this. Header section, under header section H1, saying that whatever the CSS I'm writing, please apply only for the H1 under the header section. So now my CSS will apply only for this H1. If I write any H1s in other places in this same document, it won't apply. So now what is the thing I want? I'm simple. I'm saying float left. Hey, whatever, you just align to the left and just give some padding as usual, 10 pixels. And font size, font family I have already given in, for the star, for the universal attribute. So I don't need to give a font family until unless you want to give a different font family. So I just need a font size. I'll just say font size will be 15 pixels. So I just need to control width also, right? I don't want to go further too much, like 150 pixels. So now just save it and try to refresh. See, threshold. So instead of threshold, I say threshold 3 training sessions. Beautiful. So now go here, refresh. Interesting. So why the free training sessions is coming down and it is I know fixed over there? That is because of width I have given for the header tag. So refresh the page and go here and try and minimize. Excellent. Check the template and I need to provide an input. Okay, let me stop here working with this template. Let's talk about the CSS box model, and today I'm closing the session using after discussing with the CSS box model, after discussing about CSS box model, and tomorrow I'm going to discuss about the form elements, and after that I'll continue this template. Sorry to disappoint you, so I just don't want to use or things directly on the template. I just want to make you to understand the concepts before and get into it. But since I have started it because you can see the layout, how the layout starts exactly. So you can start practicing. You can start creating your own templates if you have time at your home, and working with it, the templates which you know the layouts, right? We have already given the assignments like the 3, 4, 5 assignment layouts. You can build those layouts using divs. So with this knowledge, whatever you have right now. So let's get jump into CSS box model. So I'm just closing this up. Why can't we write everything in CSS and run the program? What do you mean by it? We are writing everything in CSS only, right? Uh, One second. Without referring in HTML. Oh, why can't we write everything in CSS and run the program without referring in HTML? I don't understand, Chakravarti. So you're saying that you need to, we need to write, it's a generic question. Oh, so CSS and HTML both are dependent, so you cannot divide them. And I don't, and also it's not a good thing to write inline CSS. I mean internal CSS. So if you write an external CSS, you can reuse, or it's easy to if you see the index, your HTML file, it's easy to recognize what is what. So you don't need to scroll a lot to see the content. So anyway, yeah, that's the idea. Let's talk about the CSS box model. CSS box model is very straightforward. Like let's say, let's do some calculations. Let's just tell you this is the template we're working. I'm just closing up everything. So now here, um, first of all, sorry for slow. Uh, when it comes to box model, first you need to understand what is padding, what is margin, what is border, and what is width. Since you already know what is padding, what is border, what is margin, so we will play with some calculations right now. So everyone get ready. So let's first of all get a CSS box model image. CSS box model image. So beautiful, as you can see, someone has given some great example. I don't know who is that. Who is this guy? Who on this? It's codeproject.com. These guys are awesome. So see, basically what happens, they have uh, given a top margin, top border. So basically when you say padding, it will apply for 4 sides, left, right, top, bottom. So let's say if I'm talking about considering width, I need to consider everything. I need to consider border, I need to consider margin, I need to consider padding, I need to consider width. Let's say divs are replacing tables. You asked me a question, Suresh. So yes, no, I mean nothing can be replaced, but we will develop templates, design templates using only divs. But in sometimes, let's say you have a large data tables, you're dealing with the table, large data. You have a tables, you have a number of rows, hundreds of columns, or something like that. Hundreds of rows, hundreds of columns, not hundreds of columns. Literally, you don't have hundreds of columns. But if you're dealing with a large data, you always take tables. If you're showing some kind of table, but always use divs because it's very much comfortable to write CSS and control it to move it or all around the document, compare with other tables. Tables is quite difficult. You will get to know, you will understand once we get into the topics. I think I need to talk about the CSS positions too, which I'm going to do it in tomorrow's session, I guess. So let's get into, I'll answer, you can ask questions here, I'll answer once I'm done with this topic. Anyway, we have a CSS box model properly. So the content which you see inside is the original content, which is in pink color background. The remaining all are like this padding, border, and margin. So when I say, let's say, Let's take a notepad, right? Here, let's say I have a width of 500 pixels. So I'm just thinking, okay, consider I have a main div, right? Inside this main div, I have a children div, 3 children divs. Oops, my bad. Go here, go here. So what happens? These 3 divs are children of main div. So main div width is like 800 or 900. I'll take 900. So now this guy width is 900. So now I'm taking this guy width is 300, 300, 300. So beautifully done. Oh yeah, I'm perfectly, 300, 300, 300, 900. This is perfect. What I give some padding. I'll say padding left is equal to 15 pixels, margin 12 pixels, border 3 pixels. So when I give these 3 things, so now what is the width of this div? It's increasing. It is not 300 anymore. It is increasing. So when you consider a width, like total we have 900 pixels of main div. But when you consider children, you need to consider the padding also. Even when you're considering width 900, if you give any width padding 20 pixels, which means main div width is let's say margin 10 pixels, border 1 pixel, solid, whatever. Yeah, of course, I am not giving a full CSS here. So now, what is the width of the main div right now here? Okay, let's calculate 900 plus. uh, Since we are considering width over here, we need to consider only left and right, right? We don't need to consider top and bottom, no matter how much we have there. So I need to consider only left and right. Since we are talking about width. I'm not talking about the height. So let's try padding 20 pixels, which means when I say padding 20 pixels, which means left and right. Left 20 pixels, right 20 pixels, total 40 pixels. So I'm calculating plus 40 plus margin 10 pixels, left 10 pixels, right 10 pixels, 20 pixels. Border 1 pixels, left 1 pixel, right 1 pixel, 2 pixels plus 2. So what is it here is equal to how much? 962. This is original width of the div, not 900. Don't think that 900. But this is the div original width. But how much? You might think that, so I have a 962 pixels inside div. No, you have only 900 pixels inside parent div. So this is a parent. These children have only 900 pixels. But if someone asks you, hey, I want maximum site width should be 900 pixels. Let's say if you consider maximum site should be 900 pixels. What you need to do? 900 minus 62. How much? 800. Sorry, I am very bad at this. 830, 828, I guess. 828. No, how come? 838. Damn it. Early morning mind is not working. 900 minus 62 equal to 8. Oh, 900 minus 62 equal to 838. Yeah. So my width should be 838 pixels. That's the reason if you open any website, You don't find 100 pixels, 300 pixels, 500 pixels. You find 972 pixels, something like that. So that this is the reason these calculations are important. So I need to remove all the padding margin border from the original width, making sure that my main div width should be 900 pixels at any cost. So now, right now, how much width I can use inside this parent div? Only 388, nothing more than that. So, sorry, 888. So I have given 300, 300, 300, 900, which is wrong. So now what I can do, 838 divided by 3. Again, calculator, 838 divided by 3. 279.333. There is no points. So here we need to consider 279. Let's say, but don't leave the remaining thing. I'll tell you. 279 into 3 is equal to 837. So we have 1 pixel left, right? First, I'll give 279 pixels. Here I'm ignoring 1 pixel. So when you're designing, when a PSD, when a designer designing the website, he'll make sure the uh, width of the template should be properly divided, because they use the grid system. So you don't need to worry about that ignoring 1 pixel right now. We have ignored 1 pixel. You don't need to worry about that, because that template whoever is going to give you is going to give you a proper width and details. So you don't need to worry about that right now. Just ignore 1 pixel. Right now I've given 279 pixels, that is fine, but here as you can see, I have given a padding left 15 pixels for that specific div, margin 12 pixels, border 3 pixels, right? Again, it is going beyond 279, which it should not, as per my calculations. It should not go beyond 279 pixels, which means I need to calculate my padding margin and everything. So now Uh, it's not 30 pixels, just like we did calculations for the main div, because I have given specifically padding left, right? 15 pixels. So 15 only, plus margin 12 pixels. But here I have not given specific. So when I say margin, it's left, top, bottom, right. Since we are considering only width, not height, I'm talking about width here. So I need to take only left and right. I don't need to worry about top and bottom, whatever it has. So left 12 pixels, right 12 pixels, 24 pixels, plus border 3 pixels, left 3 pixels, right 3 pixels, 6 pixels. How much? 30, 45. So I need to remove cals 279, sorry, 279 into 3. Let's check how much it is. 37. Okay, fine. 279 minus how much? 24 plus 630, 15, 45. 45 equal to 234. So my width of this div should be 234. 234. Brilliant. And save. So yeah, I'm not saving it, of course. So as you can see, I make sure the width of this div should not cross 279 pixels. This is very important when you're designing the website too. I know you might think like right now it is difficult. How can I remember all this? How can I do these calculations? But no, when you're designing it, you are doing it step by step, right? So in every step, you are going to take care of these things. So you will avoid any complications with the divs. So, you'll avoid the div box will come down. If you have a more width than regular, box will come down. It is not sitting in the right side as we wish. So it is not happening because of the calculation issues. Let's try this. I just say padding right is 7 pixels, margin right 8 pixels, margin 20 pixels, border right 5 pixels. Interesting, right? So we might wonder, you have given margin right, again margin. This is intentional. So padding right 7 pixels. I don't need to calculate left because there is no padding left. So done, beautiful, plus, and margin right 8 pixels, perfect, plus, now margin 20 pixels. Here, when I say margin 20 pixels means what? Margin, sorry, I'll just shortcut, M left is 20 pixels, M right is 20 pixels, right? But what I'm doing here, I'm simply overwriting margin right. Here, first it is margin right, of course, 8 pixels, but what I'm doing here is I'm just simply overwriting margin 20 pixels, which means I'm overwriting margin right also, which means my margin would be 20 plus 20, plus, which is 40, plus border right 5 pixels. Okay, 45, sorry, 8 to 16, of course, it's only 15, and 45 plus 15, 50, 60. So now I need to remove from my original width 279 minus 60, which is 219. This guy has 219 only. I have a padding 20 pixels, margin right 6 pixels, padding left 7 pixels, border 2 pixels. Now what I did here, let's calculate. First, what is it? Padding 20 pixels. Okay, 20 plus 20, what? 40 pixels. Plus margin 6 pixels, margin right 6 pixels, perfect. Plus padding left 20 pixels. So what was the padding left before I have added, which was padding left is, what was the 20 pixels. But I'm overwriting this overwriting this padding left with what here? 7 pixels. So what would be my padding left here? It's only 7 pixels, but I have already given 20 pixels. So now all I can say is I do again calculations for padding. So now I have a padding left 7 pixels plus padding right as usual 20 pixels. I'm not overriding it. Again I come back, margin right 6 pixels and padding left I've considered, and border 2 pixels. What is it? 26, 28, 35. So total 35. All I need to do is calculate 279 minus 35. Beautiful, 244. My width should be 244. Now you can calculate any of these. Let's say if you calculate this thing, and the maximum width should be 838 main div. So no matter what you write inside div, whether what you give inside this div, whether padding, margin, border, width, for all the divs, you always make sure that you should not cross main width of 838 pixels at any cost. If you cross, the the site will crumble, which means the content will keep on coming down instead of sitting next to each other. Of course, we need to write float left, to make sure that they should come side by side. Since this is an example, I have not given that. That's fine. And so since this is the width, height should be anything, whatever. So if you need to consider height, you can also give a height. Let's say if I give a main div height like 300 pixels, I should not cross 300 pixels for the inside from the inside divs, internal any div, whatever you take. If I take anything inside this div, let's say I'm talking about child of this guy, I should not cross what? 234 pixels. Right. This guy with this 234 pixels. So this children is 234 pixels. What if I take one more div? So we need to again calculate 234 divided by 2 is equal to 117. So this width should be 117 pixels. Here you need to remember one more thing. If you write again padding, margin or border to this guy, you need to decrease again main width. But you need to make sure it should be 117 pixels. So is everyone understand CSS box model which I am trying to say? Okay. Sriram says yes. Sarita? What if two children have different values? You can. No problem. Let's say, good question actually. So I have a 234 pixels, right? No matter what, like let's say if I give a 90 pixels to this guy, but I need to make sure, like, the other guy should have a 234, right? 234 minus 90 pixels, 144 pixels, right? You can give that, but sometimes you might wonder, hey, you're saying that I need to make sure like 234. I know I don't need to make sure that I should not cross 234. Can I use less than 234? Yes, you can. You can say 90 pixels on 60 pixels. No problem at all. The aligning is you need to take care of using float left or right however you want. The thing is, why I'm saying you should not cross 234, because if you want to align them side by side, if you cross 234 pixels, there is no space, right, for it to fit in. So it will automatically come down or it will disturb the layout. So we need to sit them in their limits. I mean, make sure to sit them in their limits. Okay. Am I? Is that clear, Sarita? I mean, okay, perfect. Suresh, do you understand CSS box model? You can chat. Vamshi, do you understand? Okay, just ping me in Skype or somewhere if you don't understand. Maybe uh, or try to watch the video again and again since I'm recording it, so you can understand if you don't understand CSS box model. Today I'm going to give you some assignments. I'll add these assignments, of course, to the our platform, of course, but it's quite easy. You can do it right away, right now. So I'm going to add this file also, CSS box model. Okay, I'm going to, let's do assignment. Not assignment. Let's not consider this as assignment. Calculations. Okay, here is the thing. Let's challenge each other in our group, in a Skype group. So what we challenge? So I'm giving calculations. Make it more complicated. Width 515 pixels. Okay. So you need, so in this challenging, you need to consider height also. Like let's say uh, we were taken only width over there, right? Here in this we'll take height also. will be 10 plus 40 or only 40. Margin left 10 pixels, margin 20 pixels. Will it be overwritten? It is 20. It is not 10 plus 40. And right now, like it's a margin left, right? You have given, but immediately you are overwriting a margin left. So you don't need to consider left at all. You don't need to consider left at all. But if you give margin left after the margin 20 pixels, then it will be a you need to consider. It is not 10 plus 40. You should not add duplicate margins. You always add only one margin. Okay, I think people who are watching this video might not see what you added. So let me copy and paste it over in Notepad. Okay, so this is your question, margin left 10 pixels, margin. So the minute you write margin 20 pixels, you can ignore simply this one. You simply ignore it. You don't need to worry about it. So now you can say only 40 pixels. But let's try to do something different, reverse, which is, see, in a real-time scenario, you might not get this, like 2 times margin, but some people, with they write however they want. So at that time, they write margin and they just want to overwrite only left, so they just say margin left. So at that time, it's difficult for you to calculate. So that's the reason I'm just giving these examples. Yeah, of course. Now, right now, I'm going to show you the same, the example which you asked me. So right now, what is left, which is 20, right? Right, which is 20. But here, very minute, I have overwritten what? Only margin left, right? So I'm ignoring this left, and what is left here? 10 pixels. Now what? 20 plus 30. Sorry, my bad. 20 plus 10, 30 pixels. You got it, Seta? 8 plus 40 per second there. 1 second. Which one you're saying? Okay, let me stop the record because we're taking it too long. Record. So maybe I'll explain that again. So here, padding right. Padding right is what? 7 pixels. Perfect. Margin right 8 pixels, right? Border right 5 pixels. After that, margin 20 pixels, which means what? Margin left 20 pixels, margin right 20 pixels. Since I have margin already here, I need to ignore the first one. Simple, as simple as that. Just ignore it. I never added 8 plus 10, I guess. I've removed it. Somehow you calculate it. 20 plus 20, 47 plus 5. For how much? 52. It should be 52. If I add it, then that is wrong. This is wrong. That's the reason I have removed here, I guess. 62. Okay, perfect. So my yeah, you said I have added what is the width? 290, na? Let's try. Okay, let's try. What is the width coming actually? 219 plus 7 plus 8 plus 40 plus 5 and 279. You are right. The calculation which I did is wrong. So what I need to do, I need to ignore margin, right? 8 pixels, right? Minus 8, 271. Actually, this is 271. Let's say uh, 7. Hold on. Good catch. So now what I'm doing, 7 plus, I need to ignore margin A, right? 8 pixels since I have given margin 20 pixels. So 40, hold on, 40 plus 5 is equal to 52 minus 279 is equal to 227, which means this is not 219, it is 227. Perfect. Thanks, Sarita. Okay. Uh, I think that's it for today, but yeah, let's talk about the assignment, right? Forgot. So I'll give, it's not assignment, challenge one. Width 118 pixels, height 117 pixels, padding. Example, if we give margin 20 pixels, it applies to all sides like left, right, bottom, top. Yes, yes. If you give margin, only margin like margin 20 pixels, it apply left, right, top, bottom. If you give only padding, it will apply left, top, right, bottom. If you give margin left 20 pixels, it will apply only for left. Padding 20 pixels, padding right 9 pixels. Then why we give specifically for margin right like that? You don't know the requirement, right? Basically, we don't know when what requirement comes into our real websites, in real websites. So we have to give padding also, portioning 4 sides. Yeah, it is portioning 4 sides. Yeah, of course. That's what padding will take. Padding means padding left, padding top, padding right, padding bottom. Margin means padding, margin right, margin top, margin bottom. So everything 4 sides, yes. And padding left 5 pixels, and what else we have? Border right 2 pixels, right? All I need is original width. This is my question. I want you to give me the original width of this div. So similar to this, okay, I'm giving very thin. Show how it will be shown us. If we give like padding 20 pixels, 15 pixels space. Oh, I'll talk about this later. This is a little, I understand. Don't give a space 15 pixels. I'm not talking about that. Sriram, I'll explain you in upcoming sessions about that padding. That is basically, mm, if you're planning to give a padding, right now I'm using 3 things, right? You don't need to write. We can write it a single place, like, using like this, like padding 20 pixel space, 15 pixels, because it will take 4 parts. So right now I'm not talking about that. I'm doing this because uh, this will help you to overwrite any existing websites. Right now, if you have any existing website, if you're dealing with the padding and margin, you need to understand how it changes. So you need to calculate everything. So Do you want to note down I mean assignment? Yeah, I'm going to ping in a Skype so you can get it. It's not an assignment, this is just a challenge. So here is the thing. This is just a basic challenge, right? Challenge one. So I want everyone challenge each other, which means in a group itself, uh, challenge each other with the various options. Right now, as you can see, my original width 900 pixels. So I have calculated all these things. I can say original width is 900 pixels. Original width of this div is 900 pixels. Original width of this div is 279. Right? I'm able to tell. So now I want to you guys to challenge each other by providing a different values like this. Don't give original width directly. I'm going to share you guys with this notepad also. So give it a notepad saying that, hey, if the parent contains 600 pixels with this padding, this margin, this margin, parent contains 600 pixels, this padding, this margin, this border, and children contains this width, this margin, this padding, this border, something like that. So give some 4 or 5 childrens and calculate what is the width of the parent, calculate what is the width of the each children, if the parent has same width of the children, something like that. Just challenge each other. And this is a different challenge, this is a different challenge, and this is a different challenge, because here here it's like using multiple childrens. Here is like simple challenge, basically one width and one, just one width. It's quite simple. So I'm not giving you anything, just try to challenge each other and try to resolve and discuss on it, and then work with it. Is that okay? That's the end of the session for this recording.